All right. So TGIF, TGIF, not for me. For those of you out there that work for the man, thank God it's Friday. I was thinking about that. As I was in the shower because I had to think about what day it was today. And today is Friday. It's also for me it's moving day, and for those of you that work for the man, it's the end of another week. And I remember the last time I worked for the man, I worked for Wells Fargo Bank. And I had worked for Wells Fargo Bank for the better part of 7 years. I worked for Wells Fargo Bank. And I stood in a supermarket next to an ATM machine. It's all I did all day long. While I walked the aisles, and sometimes I'd have samples over by the bakery or the deli or something like that. But when I was working, the last time I was working for the man, I was working for Wells Fargo Bank, and that wasn't actually a Monday through Friday job, but anyway, it was you know one of those 7 day a week, work Saturday, Sunday off, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But nonetheless, I knew what it was all about, getting 2 days off from working from the man or working from the man, and having those 2 days where you could wake up when you wanted to wake up and go to lunch when you wanted to go to lunch and go to lunch for as long as you wanted to go to lunch and and what have you. So for those of you out there that are waking up this morning and starting your day, uh, happy TGIF. So what else is several things on my mind today. There's individuals in life that I don't have a lot of patience or tolerance for, and one is the one I had this gentleman that I know back from California. He's an older guy. He's probably 80 now, and he's got to be one of the grumpiest, unhappiest, miserable men that you'd ever want to meet in your life. The guy is he's miserable, and seldom does he have anything positive to say. And yesterday he made a comment on one of my videos, uh, questioning why I would upload a video uh, of the nature that I did, and never would say anything positive on the videos. In fact, I never even knew that he watched the videos. But apparently he was a friend on Facebook. He's no longer a friend on Facebook. But anyway, so so he kind of bummed me out a little bit. And then there's this other character out there making posts on some of my videos that are just very sumptuous in nature and downright mean. I can't. I was going to say I was going to say that I can't understand people that have the propensity to spew hate and and offer unsolicited criticism and make assumptions. And I'd say that I can't understand people like that, but I do understand people like that. They're generally speaking, they're unhappy, miserable uh, individuals. They're not happy with their life, and more than anything, what they need to do is find God. That's what you need to do is find God. And when you fill your heart and your soul with God, there's not a lot of room for hatred and anger and regret and remorse, and all those other unhealthy feelings. But anyway, so today is moving day. Today is moving day, and as you can see, I've got the beginning of my stuff packed here. It'd be interesting to be able to go back on this trip that started on June 8th and count the number of beds that I've slept in since June 8th. I might do that one night if I can't sleep. Like last night, I couldn't sleep because it was so damn hot here. It was hot, and I think it's going to be hot again today. and this kitschy Lakash has no air conditioning. But so I'm not used to sleeping in the heat, so to speak. But anyway, it's moving day today, and I am going to be meeting Susika. I'm meeting Susika at 1:30 over at Borarostad. And I love how that sounds. I could say that all day long. Borarostad. So I'm meeting Susie at Borarostad, near Borarostad, at her house, Nemhaz, Lakash. And so I'm meeting Susika. And Susika is going to, I'm going to hitch a ride. I'm hitching a ride with Susika. And she's going to drop me off at Balaton Lake, somewhere near Balaton Fored. It's a little city. So she's going to drop me off at a train station at a little town somewhere at Balaton. And I'm going to catch the train. And I'm going down to Havies. And you know what? I booked a place. I'm going to pamper myself this weekend. I booked a place at a thermal hotel. I think they call it a thermal hotel. It's got all the niceties. It's got a buberek. Buberek is a jacuzzi. So it's got a buberek. I walk in. I say, "Jona put kivano kuchvaj, hovan buberek," something along those lines. But I know just enough Magyar to make me dangerous. But anyway, so it's going to be 2 nights in Havies, and I will be in Havies for 2 nights, and I'm going to go over to this small town. I can't pronounce the word. Forgive me. I'm going to go over to this other small town near Havies and visit that as well. And then Sunday, I'll be jumping on the train Sunday morning, and Susika wants to leave Balaton by about 1 o'clock to beat the traffic. Apparently, there's a lot of traffic because all of Budapest goes to Balaton, and all of Budapest comes back from Balaton on the weekends. But anyway, so that's the plan. And then I've got I booked just a beautiful home, Lakash. I booked a beautiful Lakash next week. This is a nice Lakash. It's got the comforts. It's got the necessities. It's clean. It's quiet. It's nice. But the Lakash that I rented next week is really, really nice. And I'll be there for 5 nights. Check out Friday, and I don't know what I don't know what I'll do next weekend. I've got just shy of 3 weeks left on this trip, tentatively, unless I fall in love and and I stick around. But that would be something. There's nothing I would like more than to fall in love. That'd be a wonderful thing. Falling in love is a incredible experience, and maybe one day I'll experience that again. But in closing, I'm going to tell you a story about this guy named Dick. A guy named Dick, and when I got out of the military, I was all of 21 years old, and in the military, I had been a 91 Bravo, which is a medical specialist. Some people would call us pecker checkers, but I was a medical specialist in the infantry, and I got out of the military, and I got a job as a cook, of all things, in a small town called Santa Rosa, California. And I was working in the kitchen as a cook, and the salad prep girl happened to have another job where she worked for a nursing agency, an in-home nursing agency. So she talked me into going down and talking to them and seeing if my qualifications from the military would qualify me to be what's called a CNA, a certified nursing assistant. And I went down to meet with this agency, and I interviewed, and the gentleman said, I have just the guy for you. I have just the man for you. His name is Dick Maddox. And so anyway, long story short, Dick was in his early 60s, and Dick had a pituitary tumor, and he went to have it treated. He didn't want to have it surgically removed because he would have had tubes in his nose, and he was terrified of having tubes in his nose. So they did radiation, and they fried his optic nerves, and he went blind within 2 weeks. So I was Dick's right-hand man. I was Dick's I was Dick's right-hand man for the better part of 3 years. And I was about 21, 22 years old. And at that time, I was living life footloose and fancy-free. And my job was to go over to Dick's every morning at about 11 o'clock while his wife went to work. I'd go over at about 11 o'clock. I'd make him his lunch. I'd read him the newspaper. He used to always like the dining section. He always wanted me to read him the dining section and then the sports about the San Francisco Giants. And so I would read Dick the sports and make him his lunch. And he always wanted to hear about what I did the night before. He'd sit there in his chair and he'd kind of make these little moaning sounds. And he always wanted to know. He was living vicarious through me. And anyway, so the reason I thought about this story was, needless to say, over 3 years, I got pretty close with Dick. Dick and I were not a lot of people liked Dick because he was just a grumpy old mean man. And you know what? Rightfully so. I mean, they burned out his optic nerve, for Christ's sake, right when he was about to retire and go fishing with his wife. And so anyway, long story short, Dick ended up dying, and I remember the night. I remember the night that he passed away because I walked into his nursing home, and he was obviously suffering. I think he had pneumonia or something like that. And I held Dick's hand, and I said, Dick, I said he was unconscious, and I said, Dick, I said, just let go, Dick, you know. And I told him I loved him, and it almost brings tears to my eyes telling this story. But I told Dick that I loved him, and off I went. And the next morning, I stopped by the convalescent home to see him on my way wherever I was going. And I walked in, and there was an empty bed, and Dick passed away in the middle of the night. And I remember going over to extend my condolences to his wife, and she opened the door, and her daughter was standing there, who I had never met before over 3 years. And she said, "So you're Tom Hall. You're Tom Hall." And I was all of 23 years old or something. I said, "Yeah." I said, "I am." I said, "I'm Tom Hall." And she said, "My father loved you like a son. My father loved you like a son." She goes, "Not many people loved my father. Not many people liked my father, but boy, did he love you." And the reason I think of this story is in light of my dad's situation, and mentally preparing myself for the day that I'll get that phone call that my dad has passed away. And I find myself that over the course of my life, I've lost a few people that have been really, really close to me. And interestingly enough, those people that I've lost that have been close to me, I never feel like I lose them. I feel that when you believe in eternal life, such as I do, when you truly, truly believe in an eternal life, then those people never leave you. You can't see them, you can't touch them, but they're always there. They're always with you. And oftentimes I'll find myself as I go through my days and just out of the blue, a memory will pop into my head or or a recollection of somebody that has passed, and I find myself talking to them just as if I were just as if I were talking to this camera, you know. But but I've gotten better with the you knows. I don't say the you know as often as I used to. But interestingly enough, I guess different people deal with death differently. And for me, when I've lost people that have close to me, when people I don't like the word lost, because I never lose somebody that I love. You never lose them. They're still there with you. You just and I'll talk to them just as I would talk to them before they passed. And the only difference is that I can't hear their reply. I can't see their facial expression. Well, I can see their facial expression in my head, and I can I know what they're saying. I know what they would say. So it's interesting that I would find myself thinking of Dick of all people. But anyway, so those were the thoughts for the day. I got to get on with my day. I see that there's some comments, and I think the comments are coming from I don't have my glasses on because I don't wear my glasses because I'm really vain, and I don't like I don't like how I look at my glasses as much as how I look without my glasses. But maybe I should get some prescription shades, and sit here with some prescription shades because I think that I look pretty Najon Kirai in shades, pretty cool, in shades. Kirai is I think cool or king or something like that. But anyway, so that's that. In closing, I going back to that old grumpy man that wonders why I do these videos. And I threw the question back at him, why not? Why not do the videos? And I told them that statistically speaking, I've got 6 to 1, likes to dislikes, or something like. I looked at my stats. There's like 25,000 likes to like 4,000 dislikes on my videos. Interestingly enough, and in the last month, I've gained 300 followers. And if I could average gaining about 300 followers a month, that's another 3,000 a year or something like that. I think the trick to doing the videos and building up an audience, I think that the trick is consistency. It's kind of like reality TV, and when I stop doing the videos, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And in all likelihood, when I leave this adventure, this summer adventure, and go back to home, I'll probably stop with the videos for a while until I go down under. When I go down under and Oz introduces me to the Hungarian woman that's going to cook me goulash, got to do a video for that. I mean, how could you not? How could you not do a video, of that, or David and Miriam and I getting naked for Satan? I mean, we'd have to. I couldn't get naked for Satan with David and Miriam without doing a video. So we'll see how that goes. So let me put on my reading glasses and see what all the chatter is about here. I'm gonna have to go back and read some of these. Hang on a moment. Let's see. What is hi Tom. Long time no see. Where are you going next? Stop picking at your ears online. Who's Susie? I have some catching up to do. Hello, isn't live chat meant to be a two-way street? You see, Jillian is, have you fallen in love again? Jillian Foster, stop. What? Stop. Shit. With my ears? Doing my ears? That's a nervous habit that I've got. No, it's not a nervous habit. I just shaved, and what the hell does it matter if what the hell does it matter if I'm playing with my ear when I'm talking? I don't. Anyway, um, yeah, you're gonna have to catch up with the whole Susie thing. Leave your ears alone. Jillian Foster, no, too sad. The Wizard of Oz. Hi, Tom. All is well with your dad. Thanks, Oz. Don't be sad, Tom. The circle of life. It is the circle of life. But it's okay, I'm not going to go into the philosophical thoughts of the circle of life. Matthew, hey, Tom, hope you're enjoying your travels. Quick question. I'm in my late 20s in the tech industry and really looking to move on the Gulf side of Florida. I know Gartner is in Fort Myers. Recommend any other? You know what? I don't know. I don't know, Matthew, as far as the tech side. Maybe shoot me an email. Shoot me an email at tom@thomashall.com. Okay, with your contact information. tom@thomashall.com. Shoot me an email with your number or something, and I'll give you a call. I've never heard of Gartner before, and personally, I wouldn't unless you're moving to Florida for the unless you're moving to Florida for the tax haven, such as I did. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's hot, it's humid, there's bugs, and there's hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. If the tax implications aren't if the tax implications are not a consideration, then go to California. That's where you want to go. So, Jillian, you're just full of chatter today, aren't you? No, it's because you have something interesting to say that others may want to hear. Don't be sad. No, it's because you have something interesting to say that others may want to hear. Others may want to hear that. Roman B. Tom, go to Tihani and Balaton Fared. Beautiful places. Your mood get better because it's distracting. I'm not going to have a car, Roman. I'm not going to have a car to go to Balaton Fared or to Tihani. So I'm going to Havies. I'd like to do a nice little float, a little float thing in Havies and in the lake, although it may be a little bit warm to do the float through Havies. And then I'm going over to this town to do a video for Iniku in Boston. I'm going to take Iniku back to a place that she loves, and I promised her that I would do that. But that being said, I check out of my place a week from today in Budapest, and I very may well hop on the train, and head back over, and maybe go to Balaton Fared and to Tihani. And you're right, those places they really uplift your spirit. And they're beautiful, beautiful places. Balaton is just beautiful. Hungary, for that matter, is a beautiful country. It's wonderful culture, wonderful people, brilliant, incredible history. Hungary is it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And anyway, so with all that being said, it is time to get on with my day. Will do, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Do you think that you'll be moving out of Florida anytime soon? Oh, moving out of Florida. Will I be moving out of Florida? It's interesting that you should ask that, because I have a home in Florida, and by having a home in Florida and maintaining it as my primary residence, it saves me a lot of money. it saves me a lot of money in income taxes because Florida doesn't have a state income tax. That being said, and then I don't have a mortgage on the home in Florida, so so I don't have a mortgage in on my home in Florida. So that's not necessarily something that would hold me down. But you know, what's interesting is that I believe in. I'm touching my eyes. It's going to drive Gillian crazy. That I'm touching my eyes. But I believe in the process of visualization. I believe that if you visualize something, hard enough, that it'll come true. And it's kind of like that book that came out called The Secret. Did anybody read that book called The Secret? Which is, in my opinion, was a bunch of. Well, I'm not even going to say what it was, in my opinion, but I believe in visualization, and I believe in the Holy Spirit, and I believe through the Holy Spirit, all things are possible, all things that are good. I believe that the Holy Spirit is a tool that is provided for us, that you can use as a carpenter would use a hammer, so to speak, and the visualization that I have is having a just go to Google and type in log cabin home waterfront, log cabin home waterfront. And I have this visualization of having this beautiful, beautiful wooden home with magnificent windows all down the front. So throughout the house, no matter where you are in the house, you look out to the water. And out in the back of this house is a garden with all types of wonderful, wonderful vegetables. Um, that right there is my dream. And it was interesting. I was walking down the street the other night with Dora and walking along the Danube, and I mentioned to her, I said, I want to show you my dream. And I'm pulling it up on the phone. And she goes, okay, I'll show you my dream. And she's pulling it up on the phone. And simultaneously, we both show each other our phones. And I'll be goddamn that there weren't two phones sitting there with pictures of a log cabin house. You know, it was it's one of those funny coincidences in life. But interestingly enough, Dora told me that the log cabin home she was showing me was in Romania, of all places. Gorgeous, gorgeous, stunning homes, I should say, in Romania, and it sure got me wondering, what's there. I've been to well, I haven't been to Romania, but I've heard that parts of Romania are just beautiful, like Transylvania. But anyway, we'll see. So I can sit here and talk all day long, but that is Simon Cohn. Let's see what's you think of him. Hi Tom, Simon Cohn here, currently in Croatia, but live in Budapest. I'm glad you love Budapest as much as me. Balaton is nice and Tahani is fab. Safe travels. Thanks, Simon. Appreciate that. Maybe we can give a drink if you're still under when I'm back there as an expat Englishman. We'll an Italian heritage or have a beer. It would have to be your email is no, it's you have that backwards. It's it's tom@thomashall.com. So just switch that around, you know. And Oz, you saw the Burgundy music video. It was good, wasn't it? The it's interesting with there's a saying that you can't miss what you've never had. You cannot miss what you've never had. And I say that because I get off on all these different tangents of discussion. And what somebody said in one of my videos yesterday, that they really appreciate my calm confidence when I'm out on the street doing videos. My calm confidence. Obviously, they don't, that's why I wear a hat all the time so they don't see all the sweat, starting to beat down my forehead. They might think that I'm calm, but the hat is just hiding the perspiration from the sweat. But what was I going to say? I started to say something, but I forgot. Help me out, folks. What did I start to what did I start to talk about? I'm getting old here. I'll pause a moment. There's a little bit of so you can't miss what you've never had. I see Oz's comment about the Burgundy video. Thank you, Oz. You can't miss what you've never had. And over the course of my lifetime, I've met some individuals that had massive wealth only to there I go again. Jillian, look at that. I'm playing with my ear, driving you crazy. It's a good thing that I'm playing with my ear, picking my ear, and not picking my nose. That would really drive you crazy, wouldn't it, Jillian? But anyway, um, I met these people that have had enormous amounts of wealth only to lose it all. And one guy in particular, I was working in this phone bank, doing telemarketing at night from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And there's this guy in there named Bill. And boy, he had a massive amount of wealth. And there he was sitting there trying to make, struggle making 30,000 a year or what have you. But anyway, so Iniku, she was in this band. She was in this famous band. And stop yelling at me, Jillian. She was in this famous band, and she had fame. She had fame, and I wonder. It'd be interesting to sit and talk with her someday. I wonder what that's like to have fame and then not have fame. That would be an interesting thing. Who knows? Maybe one day this whole YouTube thing will be behind me, and and I'll lose my fame as well. If only the fame in my own mind. So anyway, everybody have a great day. And Simon, feel free to reach out to me. Okay. Take good care. All right. Bye bye.